Well, can't go live, so next best. Lemonade. Well, it's probably fake lemonade. I don't remember what group it was. Okay, I already forgot what the question was because I've done like 6 videos already today. Gotta multitask, you know. Oh, let me protect myself. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn off. Come on. Oh shoot, it's not gonna go. Oh, it goes this way still. Okay. There we go. Okay. Anyway, basically, so thus this video. I grew up in a spiritualist home. Just like Baptists grew up in a Baptist home, except I didn't know nothing about that till I was 13. Finally went to my grandfather's whatever Holy Roller Church. Let's turn the AC down a little bit. Anywho, I think the question was about hearing voices. Well, you know, hearing voices ain't nothing new to me, right? So I said that, and she said, and then I said, and she said. And so I said, well, I'll just make a video about it. So that's where I got here. Where's the air conditioner app? 110. Now we have to remember that just like you grew up in however you grew up, I grew up however I grew up, and it was normal. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, oh, you did that as a kid? That's strange. Not for them. Excuse me, I don't have a straw. It's not strange for them. It's only strange for you because you didn't do that growing up. Okay? So we all need to remember, just because something is different, not odd or crazy or stupid or whatever, to us, it's not to whoever you're talking to. My vitamin is just like stuck in my throat. So, I think I was around 10 when I started hearing the crunching of the carpet from somebody walking down the hall. Or the little, you know how when you get that slippery stuff on the bottom of your house shoes? And you hear that shh, 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 going from one room to the bathroom. So one hall had a little bit of carpet stuff, like outdoor carpeting or something like that. I think it would be called today. And the other one didn't have, it was just flooring. So it was about then that I started hearing it, and of course that was normal to my brothers and sisters, because how it was done is someone would ask my mother a question. Example, Mrs. Green would say, ask my mom a question, and my mom, usually at dinner time, she'd say, okay, well, Mrs. Green, she's going on an interview, so I need you guys tonight to, read Daniel, have a sip of hot water. Not you, Tasha. I wet the bed till I was 13. So she put me to bed, and she'd rub my belly real soft so I could lull myself to sleep. And same thing in the morning. Okay, what did you dream? And the young ones, me and my older sister, the next oldest sister, she would come to us three because everybody else was grown. What did you dream? Blah, 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 blah. And she'd write it all down. Then she'd tell Mrs. Green, well, I feel you should blah, 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 whatever. So as we're doing this, and I'm getting older, of course the voices start to get louder and louder, and it's just expected because I grew up in a unity church. A unity church, forgive me for putting it this way, no offense intended to anyone, and I'm sure you'll understand my example when I say I went to old white lady church. Because the black churches weren't like that. The black churches lasted for 10 hours. Our church lasts 1 hour. You go in, you listen, you sing 2 songs, you listen to the lesson, and you give your 50 cents, and you sing 2 more songs, and you went to the kitchen, because mostly those types of churches back then weren't big, huge Catholic, Baptist churches. They were out of a house. So this particular house, property, whatever, had a big, beautiful pool. A turtle lived there for whatever reason. And it had, of course, a big, huge dining area. And, okay, so the church probably was the, I don't know, living room maybe? Because it was big. It wasn't little like this room, like a lot of spiritualist churches are. A lot of people have a spiritualist church in their home. Except the NSA, National Spiritualist Association. They have church. So, that's the kind of church I grew up in. Do good, you'll get good. Speak positive, you'll get good. Blah, 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 blah. So, after that, we went to religious science. No, not that crazy people's church, Scientology, and not that. People get the two mixed up. So again, it's another, think good, do good. Louise Hay was there, and Terry Cole Whitaker, Dr. Forks, for those in the metaphysical community, you might know those people. And that was a huge church, huge, like Catholic Church huge, in Riverside, California. Wow, those are good times. Anyway, so time goes on and on and on. So that's how I believe, right? You wear whatever you want. Nobody looks down to you. If you have anything to say, if you feel like, getting a reading. They didn't call it a reading back then at that church, Religious Science Church. I don't remember what they called it. So anywho, we jumped from religious science to religious science, from San Bernardino, Loma Linda, Riverside, blah blah blah. And still the same thing, the hearing, it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, because that's how you're raised, You learn more and more and more and more. Let's try this and let's do this, and the next thing you know, sisters get in a fight and things are flying. Literally. And then mom's energy had to step in, and I don't know what it was that crashed to the floor. Well, it happened more than once, but yeah, one sister's fighting the other sister, and anyway. So of course for me, my dear, to answer your question, of course they just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And then next thing you know, I'm hearing spirit talk just like I'm talking to you right now. I mean, what do you do? And I just thank God I chose to be born with that mother in that situation, or else everything else would be different, right? If I had a father in the home, that would have been different. Probably. I don't know. So growing up, okay, continue spiral. So that answers your question, I hope. And it goes from, in the beginning, of course, it was all the hushes and whispers, just like on television. It was that little gurgly, whispery sound to this. And I could hear my grandfather on my father's side, who was the Baptist or whatever minister. And I think his wife, Mary, my grandmother Mary, I think she passed first. And then Grandpa. And I could hear them. Didn't know it was going to be like this. Something like that. Something to that effect. I don't, of course, remember, obviously, the words. I was 12, I think, by the time when they both went home. Anywho, so I would tell my mom, and of course, she's the interpreter of dreams, blah, blah, blah. That's her gift. Not mine, you guys. It's not my gift. And you just keep progressing and progressing and progressing. Mom's like, okay, now try this. Okay, now what about this? And what about this? And then I felt so grown when I found out about, psychometry. You know, when you hold something, when you hold something and you get the vibration from the person that was wearing it. That's psychometry, okay? So, lucky for me, I don't have every gift. I only have 8. The 8 clairs, you know, go Google it, figure it out. And I got to tell you, I'm really happy, because sometimes when people try to come through, they can't always just talk. So then that's when I see the television, the old-fashioned television, the kind you got to get up and change the channel, that kind. Or the chalkboard. So those that are newly crossed over, they generally use the TV or the chalkboard for various things. Sometimes I see pictures on the TV, but most of the TV is for static, meaning they can't tell you yet, they don't know how, they're new still, or you don't need to know. So in the chalkboard, again, for new people, when I say people, I mean spirits that just recently crossed over. And maybe they're expecting hellfire, damnation, blah, 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 whatever. I don't believe that that's there, because my ancestors tell me if it ain't here, it ain't over there. You know, so you're just going to be in darkness. So the other question I get asked a lot too is, what about, you know, mass murderers and blah, 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 blah. So what, again, I could only tell you what my angels, teachers, guides, ancestors have told me, which is they just stay in darkness until you think to ask for help. That's why thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are very, 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 very important. Okay? And that's why you have to really raise your level of consciousness and stay in high vibration, so then eventually you don't think, I wonder if I'm going to die on the way home. Or whatever. I don't know. So at this point in life, okay, so I've, you know, gotten used to the voices. I've gotten used to the phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody there. The lights flashing on and off and on. And the hi-fi. You remember hi-fi? The hi-fi. TV, turntable, radio. Yeah, hi-fi. God, I wish I would have kept that. Oh man, it was so beautiful. Anyway, would come on at 3 in the morning, or the lights would come on at 3 in the morning, and I'm talking blasting music. You know, even those of you that have the hardest of time sleeping, you wouldn't be able to sleep. And of course, the volume was on low because my mother didn't like any loud anything in her house. Even when she was mad, she would talk like this, and she'd say, "Tasha, yes, ma'am. I need to speak with you. On my way." Yeah, and you knew Mom was pissed. What's the livid? Livid. Mom was livid. Mom was livid, and you know, should just come with your best vibration, energy, whatever. Where's my other one? You guys know what I did with it. Where is it? It's on the bed. Okay. Thank you. And then you just keep growing and growing and growing, just like anything else in life. You just keep going and growing, growing. So by the time I know I say 13 a lot, but I don't think I was 13. I think I was 17 when, yeah, because I moved out when Mom went to Hawaii when I was 18, and I moved to that little cottage. Yeah, so 16, 17, my brother discovered this Intertransitory medium, I do not think that that's in no Wikipedia. Sorry. Which is the gift of spirit using your voice box. So your granny didn't sound like my voice right now. Your granny sounded like her voice that popped out of my voice box. Okay, so that was my granny, Reverend Zitlow, Redlands, California. And he started attending her church, because again, I didn't know then that she was in NSA, National Spiritualist Association. Excuse me. And so she had, I mean, the church was huge, and paintings on the wall, just like I saw in Catholic school, in Catholic church. Yeah, I went to Catholic church mostly, all my Catholic school all my life. And it was huge, okay? Not like a Unity church or religious science church even. It was huge, huge. So upstairs, Granny gutted out the bathroom and made that the reading room. It was black, gutted it out, boarded up the walls, painted the walls so nothing could come in whatsoever. So, of course, my brother takes us to that church, and everybody got a reading. Everybody. You didn't go to church and not get a reading from somebody. Okay, that just didn't happen. It just didn't. So Granny was the coolest Granny. Mind you, you notice I call her Granny, right, and not anything else. Yeah. So my mother's mother is Nana, the white-haired lady with the rosy cheeks that did all sorts of crafts. You know, I love that. Was Grandma Zitlow. Okay. So she had started teaching us how to use our gifts. Thus, since I was 18, I've been teaching angels, teachers, and guides. Excuse me. So, knowing what we know, and of course Granny knew instantly, you didn't have to tell her anything. We sit down for our first seance. Yep, I said a seance. Nope, we didn't hold hands. Okay, so we're sitting in this spacious bathroom turned reading room, gutted out, and the only thing in the room is like 5 chairs and a little teeny tiny table for you to put your cassette recorder on. Yep, that's what it was back in the day, cassette recorder. So we're all ready. I mean, we've been there a few times. Learn, you know how it is when you go someplace new. Excuse me. You go a few times, see how things work, blah, 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 blah. So we've gotten plenty of readings from Granny and Reverend Dawn and, you know, that one lady in the church that can't really sing. She's always singing off key. Bless her heart, she's so beautiful. I've always loved being with older people. Anyway, and then there was the organ player. Sometimes she'd do readings too, and then of course Granny. Somebody else was there. 1, 2, Granny, the singer lady, and then the organ player. What is that, 5? Anyway, there's 5 ministers up there. So it's seance time, and of course, you want to talk about hearing some spirits? Oh, honey, please. One of these days, I'm going to go through that old box of cassettes. Yep, I still got them. And I still got my VH whatever player. I used to have the Beta. Remember the very, 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 very first record with the little tiny cassettes? Cartridges that was this big, and then VHS came out and it was like this big? Yeah, I still have a lot of those. So the seance starts. No, we don't hold hands. Because if something got in Granny, she didn't want it to travel from person to person to person. Makes sense, huh? So we're all there nervous, sitting in our chairs, rubbing our hands together. Me, my mother, my brother, my sister, my other sister, and who else was there? Somebody else. I don't remember. Oh, and of course Grandma. So she tunes in, and Granny tunes in fast. She does her prayer for protection. And her joy guide was Butterfly. So instantly we hear Butterfly, hi everybody. I go with you. She sounds like a little baby that just learned to talk. She's so beautiful. So then Grandma would say, okay, Butterfly, go get everybody that's supposed to be here. Okay. I go get him. I go get him. So precious. And so, of course, Nana would come in first. Hi, Nana. Now, you got to remember, it's Nana's voice, not Grandma's voice. Okay? Nana's voice. And she would say, you know, her Virgo self, hi, everybody. And, of course, you know, you're not thinking when you go to the seance about what not to say because they're spirits, but they don't have skin, right? What are you doing? How are you doing? I'm tired. Why? It's a hard time taking care of all of y'all. And we're all busting up laughing. Child, what you got them nails on looking like that? Looking like a darn Christmas tree. So my sister Lynn had just started beauty school. And you know, the long acrylic nails that were green. You could see that? Now, I don't know why I just assumed that she knew what I knew and know that spirit is all around all the time. They see everything. If you're having sex, if you're masturbating, if you're eating, if you're being evil, they see everything. She's, oh my God, I'm never having sex again. Oh man, I'll never forget that day. Woo, child, that's hilarious. Oh man, mind you, she's the type of sister that gets dressed fully. Yeah, she don't come out, especially if she lives with a roommate or somebody. She takes everything into the bathroom. So when she's out of her shower, she shave, shower, shine, brush her teeth, do her hair, put her makeup on, put her lipstick on, blah 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 blah. So she's in there for like 2 hours. And she comes out fully clothed, no towel, no, you know, panties and bra, no, fully dressed. Man, that's so funny. Remembering all these things. Thank you, Tia. Thank you. So, who was after that? Anyway, so she, you know, Nana gave each and every one of us a message, and of course, Pat, my other sister who's 5 years older than me, come touch me, come touch me. Now, I'm not too enthused by, you know, touching or whatever, because, I mean, I've seen the impression on my bed when Uncle Arnold would sit on my bed after we moved to the rich white neighborhood when I was 13. You know, and I can hear him crunch, 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 because it would be like this. I would see the impression in the bed of a little butt. He was a small man, and I'd say, Mother! And then she'd yell, Uncle Arnold, leave her alone. Oh, it's so funny. And then you could hear crunch, 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 all the way back to Mom's room, you know. And some other girl lived in that house in Rialto, California. And I asked my mom, I said, do you see that lady in the ball gown? She says, oh yeah, every night. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to worry you. What does she want? Me to go with her? And I'll never forget, I told her, I said, well, if you want to go, you can. No, you're my baby. I have to raise you. Oh, well, I got 4 sisters and 4 brothers, so I wasn't thinking of, you know, not having somebody there to raise me. So, okay, back to Grandma. Okay, so we all got to, and then Uncle Arnold came in, and you could hear the table, you know, being jarred. And Pat says, what is that? What is that? She says, oh, that's your uncle. He's just trying to reach you. Okay, come touch me. Come touch me. I'm still waiting. Come touch me. Come touch me. Come touch me. Shut up. And because by the time he gets over there and touches her, then she, you touch me, just like people do when they start learning to use their gifts. I want to see my grandma. I want to see my grandma. And then her eyes show up in the middle of the wall. You scared me. Don't do that again. Well, you asked for it. So, the most miraculous two things I will never forget, probably in any lifetime. Hold on. Suspense time. Is the trumpets. So in the old days they had that big huge mega horn thing the cheerleaders did, remember, in the 50s? That, except it was floating in midair in both corners of the room. When she was deep, and it wasn't grandma no more. She'd gone, and Butterfly would pop in and out, and then Butterfly would be the one to introduce whoever's here to see whoever. Mama Edith, we have such a here to see you. Okay, he's coming. Her cute little baby voice. And of course, she's not a baby, but her voice just sounded like a baby that's learning to talk. And Granny always said, this time, like now, because Granny went home, that then Butterfly would come, and then she would assist Butterfly in doing her healings and readings and blah, 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 blah. And then, y'all, okay, so yeah. So I'm like, ooh, Granny. And she says, no, honey, don't get up and touch it. So the megaphone thing that's levitating is pouring out. I don't know. I've maybe seen it in one or two ghost movies, whatever you want to call it, paranormal, where the pearls and money and stuff is falling out of the horn thing that's floating there. It was pretty amazing. And the light appeared from nowhere on the horn. And the big part is facing us, and the mouth part is facing the corner of the wall. And all this money and gold and pearls and gems and blah, blah, is just pouring. And Grandma's like, no, that's etheric energy. You can't go touch it and take it. That's in the spirit world. You just have the gift of sight, and you can see it. So I can see it. My mom could see it. My two crazy sisters, I don't think they could see the horns, right? And then the most fascinating thing that I will never, ever forget my entire life is you could hear the drums. You see how the camera's jumping? That's what the table was doing. And the little recorder was sliding off the table. Mom had to catch it, push it back. There had to be hundreds and hundreds of Indians on horseback trampling through that bathroom. It was the most amazing feeling. It's just one of those feelings you, till today, when I close my eyes and remember it, my body is jumping to the hooves that are trampling through the room, right through us. They didn't go around. Their spirit, they don't need to go around. I could hear somebody asking that. I could just hear it. And it lasted a good while, maybe a full 45 seconds, but you know how it is when you're, and it's the first time and you're like, this is really happening? Oh my God, this is so fucking exciting. Yeah, it felt like it lasted for 2 minutes, but it was probably really only 45 seconds. And I'm gonna try and find that tape, cassette tape. It was just so moving. I liken it to what I assume other people would call, getting the Holy Ghost. It was just so effervescent and tingling and warm and spicy, and it was fucking amazing. wow. And then after that, then somebody else would come. So for me, the somebody else next was, Tasha, there's a guy here. He says he's the father of your friend named Ray. And I said, okay. And he wants you to give Ray a message. No. Well, honey, you have free will, but it would move your spiritual abilities along and you will be rewarded. She didn't say rewarded, she said something else. If you go ahead and do what your spiritual gifts are. No. Again, what are people going to think? What if I'm wrong? What if? I said, well, honey. Hey, Miss Granny. You just do your best, okay? The time will come and it'll just flow right through you. You won't even know that you're saying it. How's something gonna work like that when I don't know what I'm saying? It's coming out of my mouth and no. So then I moved. Okay, so I was 18 when I moved out. Mama went to Hawaii and I snuck out the house. And so I moved from the studio to a house. And I'll never forget that day either. We had a long driveway out in San Bernardino, California. And I was washing the car or getting something out of the car. Now, mind you, let me back up. I'm sorry. So as soon as I said no, my throat, poof, like a bullfrog. It looked like I was dying or super sick with something. And I'm talking like this, and I can barely breathe. So I can't eat, I can't hardly sleep, I can't do anything, okay? My throat stayed like this for about 2 weeks before it happened. Okay, so Ray is driving by, hey Tasha, and I'm like, so he backs up, pulls in the long driveway. Hey, how you doing? Hi, Ray. How you doing? How's your dad? Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Shame on you. Go talk to your dad. Good. Shame on you. Go see your dad. My mom was telling me what good friends they are and blah, 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 blah. Because, back to the reading, he was deciding whether or not to go home. And he wanted to talk to his son before he did. Simple, huh? After that, I vowed never, ever, 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 to not say something to you that spirits tell me to tell you. I don't care if you believe the same way I do or not. I don't care if you're mentally not ready to handle it. I can't care. So I don't care. If spirit tells me to come tell you to, tomorrow at 3:15 duck, then I'm just gonna, I don't know why. I don't know what your sorry. Somebody gave me that today and I'm just so mesmerized by it. I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm telling you, whether I like it or not. So that's why I tell you, even still today, do you think I like being there every Friday giving readings at 2 o'clock just to have you guys after the reading come and question me some more? No, I don't. I do it anyway because that's my purpose for being. That's my purpose for being, okay? And I just do it. So then after that, back to the seance, then it was, Mom's turn, Irvin's turn. I don't know who was over here. Somebody was over here. I don't know. So everybody got tons of readings from everybody and told about their life, blah, 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 blah. So probably, 4 hours later, we're going down the hall. And this one time, we had had several seances since after that. And this one time, we actually heard Butterfly talking outside the room. And it was so baffling. I know she didn't just stay in the seance room talking, but we heard her out loud. So as we're going downstairs, she says, "I know it's you." And I'm like, "Grandma!" She says, "Yes, honey. She talks all the time. Not just in the room." And I said, "Ah! That's exciting. Say something else." So you can hear the little baby laugh. "I know it's you, Aunt Pacha. I know it's you." Some moments in life, So, that's the long and short of it, Tia. Okay, I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm not gonna, because I got jewelry to finish. And I do good at the beginning, but after a while I stop my wire weaving and start talking and forget everything else that I'm doing, unless I'm on the jewelry channel. I managed to do pretty good on the jewelry channel, but anyway, there you go. So it has always been, so talk at the table always consisted of, what are your goals? Write them down. Bring your pencil and paper to the table, because after dinner, once one of the sisters would clear the table and we would talk about our goals, spiritually that is, and what do you want to achieve. So let's pretend mom needed money for, I don't know, bills or whatever, and then we'd all get together and say three times a day, "I have received $100,000 in return with good to all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Okay, so what did you dream last night? What did you feel? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, then once in a blue moon, I don't really remember talking about, school and things like that, because I never went anywhere except with my sisters. Didn't want to go with them, but I didn't have any choice. Mama didn't want to be bothered all the time. And that's what we would talk about. Okay, so the next goal is, I need a new car. And so Mama would go to the dealer, get the booklet that you get for the car with pictures and stuff, cut it out, put it on the vision board. And then, of course, on Saturdays, once in a blue moon, we'd all sit down and take off pictures from our old vision board and put up new pictures. But mainly we talked about life stuff, spirit stuff, goals, Okay, so next time we go get, magazines from the library, Tasha, you're going to get your thing on, whatever colleges you want to go to. I didn't care about college. I didn't get it. For the most part, still don't get it. The differences between this part of college, that part of college, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yeah, I went for years, but I just took the fun classes. Because I got tired of stressing out about tests. I wasn't a good tester. I don't have a driver's license now because I don't want to go back to take the test, because life happened just as I was supposed to renew my license, and I didn't remember it till 2 years later when the police officer reminded me that my license has expired. And yeah, now I had to take the whole test all over again, the driving test and the written test. And I'm sick of puking through tests, so I just opt not to. I still have a good life. Just don't have that extra expense. There you go. And then after that, I moved to San Jose, California, where good old Shirley Brown, or Sylvia Brown, Debbie Ford, all them other popular people would frequent Sylvia Brown's church. And what was the name of that other church? It was high up on a hill and you could see it like from everywhere. I can't think. Anyway, so then of course I started doing my readings in San Jose, and it was great. I found one reader to go to who worked on donation only, And she had some beautiful, funny, big round cards. And it was just amazing. Anyway, so then I had, of course, the same issue you all do. How much to charge? What do I charge? If I charge, should I charge? Blah, blah, blah. And Granny's like, we all have the right to charge for our livelihood. Because I was very upset at the fact that, Sylvia Browne was charging like $500 for a reading. I come from a little country place. I think of it as country. Mama didn't think of it as country. But they fucking got dirt roads there. So to me, that's country, okay? The chickens and goats still wander the roads. That's country. And Granny told me, you just leave a donation basket out then if you don't feel comfortable charging people. Oh, I could do that. Okay. And then that worked great for a long time. And then I thought, okay, I deserve to start charging. I'm well versed. I'm practiced. I know how to use all of my gifts. And back then, I had other gifts, like I could see your aura, or I could clearly hear people thinking. I could hear their thoughts, and so forth and so on. Anyway, you grow up, life goes on, you learn and learn, and I started teaching angels, teachers, and guides after I was, settled into my own place, blah, blah, blah. And life goes on after that. So, there you go. And in the process of using all of our gifts, the first lesson I always teach is protection. You have to learn to protect yourself first from all of those things that say that it's grandma and they're not. Yeah. Okay? And nobody's any greater than anybody else. I'm not any greater than you. That's crazy. We're all the same. We're all the same. Okay? So, having said all that, don't forget to ground and protect. Every day, several times a day. Okay? Okay. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them. I'm pretty sure my email is in the description. Okay, guys. Oh, no, it's not. I forgot. This isn't live. It doesn't automatically put it in. So, I'll add all that stuff. Okay? Okay, guys. I love you. Please be good to yourself. Okay? All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Mwah.